Good afternoon. Today we're going to be touring the Western Wall tunnels. I think one of the more fascinating things to see here in Jerusalem, the Western Wall tunnels is a tunnel that is essentially being excavated approximately about 80% the full length of the Western Wall. Just behind me is the is where it starts, and it ends at the northwestern corner of it. Okay, so anyways, let's go on. Let's go visit the site. Down here to my left, we can actually see all the way down to the base of the Western Wall from 2,000 years ago. Let's take a look. Don't get vertigo. Okay, let's go on. These spaces here are actually not part of the Western Wall. These were spaces that were built in the later years, more than likely by the Muslims in the Middle Ages, in order to build the present-day Muslim quarter up on top of us. So we're not even in the basements, but we're below the basements of the Muslim quarter. Anyway, let's go on to finally see the Western Wall. Through the door. This here in front of us is very possibly one of the most fascinating things that have been found. This is what is referred to as an Odeon. An Odeon, here you can see it right there. An Odeon is a miniature theater. There's space here for maybe something like 100, maybe even 300 people. It's not a it's either a mini theater or a mini meeting place. And here, of course, is the Western Wall. Okay, we can see these stones. These stones were built by King Herod 2,000 years ago. We're not 100% sure how he put them here, how he built them here. What he does do is all of these stones, he smooths them out and he carves around the edges of them, he carves a frame. And you can see them, these are stones, look almost as if they've been here, as if they were put here last week. They have been here for 2,000 years. They are standing, there is no cement holding them up. They are standing in the same place they were put 2,000 years ago. Quite amazing. Anyways, let's go on. We'll say goodbye to the Odeon, and we'll go back to the continuation of the tunnels. We have now arrived at what is probably the largest stone in the Western Wall. It's there behind me. Okay, it is so big that it extends there to the south and there to the north. Let's go and see exactly how big it is. We'll count the steps. Okay, the southern end of it is right here. You can see the line. You can see the frame that's been carved into it. Okay, let's count the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, this is the northern end of it. You can see the seam line between it and the next one, 18 yards, 18 meters long, from all the way over there to here. Quite amazing. Let's continue on. We've arrived at what may be the holiest place in the Western Wall tunnels. It's behind me where this gentleman is praying. This is the spot that is closest to where the Holy of Holies was. The Holy of Holies was where, according to Jewish tradition, where the Shekhinah, the Spirit of God, was, and only one person was allowed into the Holy of Holies, and that was the high priest, and that was on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Religious, observant Jews, they do not want to actually go up onto the Temple Mount for fear of desecrating the place. So this is the closest that we can get to this holy spot without fear of desecrating it. Anyways, let's just take another quick look at it, and we will continue on. We're now walking in a northerly direction, parallel to the western wall. You can see here that these parts of the wall are also in pristine condition. They're still extremely smooth. You can't slide anything between the cracks between one stone block and the other. And it looks like, as I said, it was laid last week. Okay, here beneath us we can see the destruction of the Romans when they destroyed the temple in the year 70. All of these blocks came from the top section of the western wall. Another view of the floor below, a little bit difficult to see because of the reflection of the lights, but what we see down below there, that is ground level of 2,000 years ago. Okay, we are a story, maybe 2 stories up from ground level of 2,000 years ago. Okay, we've arrived in a water cistern. This is a water cistern that was built here by the later Muslim inhabitants of Jerusalem, who built, as I mentioned earlier, they built the Muslim quarter up above us next to the western wall. So we're actually beneath the Muslim quarter, and this is a cistern. You can see up above us the hole, the entrance to the water cistern. It's being closed in, cemented in so nobody can come in here, but yes, that's what this was. This was a water cistern from several hundred years ago. We've arrived at ground level. Okay, you can see here behind me to my left, they didn't actually finish carving out the mountain. Yeah, this part of the western wall, we're at the northern end of the western wall, they carved away, there was a mountain or a hill, and they started carving it away so the western wall continue in that direction to the north, and they didn't finish carving it out. You can see up above us here parts, this is not actually stone, this is the actual mountain where the frame of the western wall has been carved into the mountain. And here we have paving stones. You can see the paving stones. The paving stones have been left here. They weren't put in place. And we're standing on 2,000-year-old paving stones. What's going on? We think that they just didn't finish the work. They stopped working for some reason. We don't really know why. Anyways, let's go on. Okay, we've still got the western wall here to my right. And we've got one last stone here. You can see a little bit tight in here, but you can see that this stone here was brought here, was put in place, and they didn't finish smoothing it out. We don't know why. Maybe they just ran out of money, or maybe they just ran out of patience to do this work. Anyways, we are now at the top of these stairs. We are going to be leaving the western wall. We have now gone back 2,000 years. We've gone back to the 2nd century before the Common Era, 2,200 years ago. We are now in a water channel. This is a water channel that was apparently built by the Hasmoneans, or the Maccabees, the people who were responsible for Hanukkah. And if you look up, I'll show it to you, you can see that up on top there are paving stones that are on top of the channel. Okay, the floor, the present-day road in the Muslim quarter, that's where we're going to, the present-day road in the Muslim quarter is up above. So this was, as I said a moment ago, this is a water channel that was built by the Hasmoneans to bring water from the north to the south. It was later cut off by King Herod when he built the western wall. Then down a little bit, and we have arrived at our last spot. What is this? This is a Roman water system. There's 2 of them, one here one over there in the second room. This is a Roman water system dating back 2,000 years. The truth is we only see a third of it. This Roman water system, it extends beyond this wall we can see right there. It extends another 2 times beyond there. What happened? This wall was put in there around 170 years ago. In the mid-1800s, it was put in there by a convent of Catholic nuns who live over there on the other side. They wanted to block access to the convent from people who were here in this water system. That's our tour. We are going to leave now, and we will exit through the Muslim quarter. That was a tour of the Western Wall tunnels. We have come out at the start of the Via Dolorosa. If you are interested, you can look at my, I have 2 videos about the Via Dolorosa. They start here to my left. And of course, if you're interested in touring Israel, seeing Israel, you can contact me and of course, like and subscribe.